Hello, welcome to the James Cooley Show. It's your life. I'm your host, Dr. James J.C. Cooley. Wow. I hope everybody has been enjoying this week. Me and Michelle has immensely, because we've got family here. And topic of the show, I'm going to give it away, is celebrating others. And that's what it's all about. And Michelle, you can go ahead and beat me up right now. But how you doing?
I'm doing good. We have a guest back on the show. He's like an honorary guest, and he has so much knowledge to disperse to the audience. And we're excited to have him back on the show today. He's
not just an honor. That's my little brother right there. And I'm so happy to have him back on. And he already know he got an open invitation. Todd, how are you doing in sunny California?
Oh, it's good. It's not too sunny out here today, but it's nice. We got a little bit of change of season out here. How are you guys doing?
Doing just fine. I would be back in town in a couple of days.
All right. Very cool.
But I don't know if I make it to the studio. I might, but we'll see.
Bring me some of that Rosati's pizza.
Absolutely. So Todd, why don't we lock in all of the platforms at the same time? And so Michelle,
all right, we're going to do that in 5 seconds.
All right.
Group at bethebull.com.
It's Your Life is sponsored by James J.C. Cooley.
Hello. Welcome to the James Cooley Show. It's Your Life. I'm your host, Dr. James J.C. Cooley. I want to welcome all the different platforms, wherever you're at, whether you're on E360 TV, Transfer TV, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, Rumble, and over 68 live platforms. Welcome to the show. And if you're just listening, I'm welcoming you to the show. If you're just listening on the radio, KCBQ, AM 1170 Answer, FM 96.1, iHeartRadio, Spotify, you can all be part of the conversation. I will tell you about that a little bit in a minute, but I cannot even get started without this absolutely fantastic executive producer. How you doing, Dr. Cooley?
I'm doing great. And, I'm excited to have this guest back on the show today. He's such a, not only he's a friend to us, he has got a lot of things going on, and he is a motivator. He's basically, an inspiration. So we can't wait to hear what he's going to talk about today.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing him again because I still ain't got he's so big. I still ain't got my autograph from him, but I'm gonna hold off on that one for a little bit. So Michelle, can you tell our viewers and our listeners the title of the show, the purpose of the show, and introduce this absolutely fantastic returning guest?
Yes. Well, the title of today's show is Celebrating Others, and we're having a sit-down discussion with Dr. Terry Spain. He is a CEO, sports commentator, author, veteran, and international speaker. He's going to talk about the power of recognition, creating a culture of support, overcoming jealousy and comparison, making celebration a habit. So Dr. Terry Spain is a highly accomplished United States Navy veteran, having proudly served 21 years and achieving the rank of Chief Petty Officer. He is the CEO and founder of Sports First Media, LLC, a leading media company providing real-time sports coverage, news, and analysis across digital platforms. In addition, he's the Chief Executive Officer of Terry Spain Consulting, LLC, where he specializes in diversity and leadership training, motivational speaking, mentoring, and team building. His exceptional skills have attracted the attention of esteemed institutions such as the White House, Camp David, and the Naval Academy, where he has conducted training sessions and provided insights on leadership, diversity, and team dynamics. As a seasoned sports commentator, he's renowned for his expert analysis and keen insight into some of the world's most prominent sports leagues, including the NBA, NFL, UFL, and NCAA. There's so much to talk about with this returning guest, but we're going to have him discuss it. Welcome back to the show, Dr. Terry Spain.
Oh man, I get all the pomps and circumstances. I love it. I definitely appreciate both of you all. I'm excited about being on the show today, and thank you again for having me. Because anytime you all invite me on the show, I'm definitely all in. So I appreciate that.
Well, we appreciate you, man. I tell you, can't wait to see you next month.
Yeah,
for wife of yours, so we're looking forward to it. And I tell you, man, you are just all over the place. You're in England one day, all over Europe. Doing a lot of sports casting and stuff like that. And people need to look you up, and maybe they might want you to come out and do some events for them, regardless of where they're at in the world. So, Terry, can you tell our viewers and listeners a little bit more about you, where you grew up, what made you click, and why you are so exceptional with a giving heart, because you teach and inspire our youth and young adults. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. So I'm originally from the great state of South Carolina, Conway, South Carolina to be exact, but I was born in Charleston. And one of the things that I tell people, one of the unique things about me is I actually grew up in Italy. I grew up in Naples, Italy, where I lived there as a teenager. So from there, I was able to hone a lot of my skills and my passions for helping people, compassion, cultural competency, which is one of the things that I do here in the United States, and kind of bridge the gap between folks and their cultures and things of that nature. But I also motivate people, whether it's young men or whether it's young women or just people in general. So I like to motivate people. I like to let people live out their full potential and give them some ideas and tricks and trades that they can use to help themselves out. And this is the reason why I wrote 2 books. I'm an author of 2 books. The first book I ever wrote was Just Lead, which is a leadership book that kind of gets you motivated and puts you in the headspace to be great at what you do. And then my last book, which is the one that I am definitely excited about and actually had me visit Africa, was my book called Hey Young Man. And we made some serious legway and we had a big impact on a lot of people with this book, Hey Young Man, which is designed to help young men and motivate them and keep them going. And they can always refer back to this book. And in that book, I got some challenging questions and things like that make them think, just in case they need to motivate themselves because I'm not there.
Well, couple of things we got in common. We got the Navy.
And most definitely.
And we both are PK.
Yes.
Preacher kids.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
And a lot of things that goes along with that upbringing, especially military training, is discipline, understanding and focus, and also it leads to vision, understanding and focus. And I think that's a challenge with most of our youth and young adults, and just adults in general, that they do not carry through their vision.
Right.
Another thing that being a PK, you already know you got to follow all the rules.
Everything.
So let's talk about the topic, celebrating others. Why is it so important that others know that they're being celebrated, being recognized, being inspired? Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, and that's a great question. When I thought about the topic and we discussed that would be a good topic, all too often people are operating on the I format. Now, I can do this, I do this, I that. And oftentimes you don't see people get celebrated. So I always try to help someone or lift someone up and try to just celebrate them. Let them see if anything's going wrong in their lives, right? I can let them see the beauty of what can happen or what can come from out of that. And so when you celebrate people, whether it's in the workspace or whether it's in life, whether it's in friendship, those are some of the ways that you can keep your friendship. Like a lot of my friends, we kind of celebrate each other. If they see that I'm doing something that's noteworthy or what have you, they will reach out to me, either whether it's text, call, or anything, say, hey man, I see what you're doing. I'm proud of you. I'm impressed, everything. And I'll do the exact same thing. But those small things for me is what I prefer versus something, grand or over the top. So we kind of reciprocate that with friends. But I also used to do that when I had folks working for me in the military and in other workspaces. I would send them a thank you email, or I would just give them a card and say, hey, I appreciate everything you're doing. And believe it or not, those things actually help the retention rate for the military. They help the retention rate for other jobs that I was on. Just the small little things that I would do and that they thought no one else was paying attention to, because oftentimes that's one of the biggest things. Folks leave or you fall out with friendships because you're not feeling appreciated. And that's in relationships as well.
And you are absolutely right. And a lot of times we never know what's going on in a person's mind at that particular time, whether they're sad or ready to do something to themselves, and appreciating and recognizing them and lifting them up, kind of give them a different perspective. Like, they really care about me.
Right.
I didn't think anybody cared about me, but I mean, I ain't never been to that point where I was ready to do, but I was at the point where I thought no one even cared and noticed anything that I did. And someone came up to me and said something. And I kind of get, how you get that.
Yeah. You pull yourself back up and say, I'm ready. Yeah.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
So
and what's funny? It's funny you should say that too, because I'll never forget it. I know we get almost going to a break, but I had one of my friends who I haven't spoken to in quite some time. I was just feeling kind of down. I was like, man, I'm doing all this stuff and no one's like really reciprocating a lot of the stuff. I was just trying to help a lot of people out. And that day he called me. He said, man, everything that I see you post, you motivate me on a daily. And that just had me going. So I knew I impacted one person. So that was one of the things that I wanted to share.
I tell you, we're going to take a station break, but we're going to come back with a lot more Dr. Terry Spain. I call him Dr. T. If you want to be part of this conversation, whichever platform that you're watching us on, all you have to do is go to the comments, ask any question that you might have. Or you can pick up the phone and dial 1-888-344-1170. Again, that's 1-888-344-1170. It's your life. And we'll see you shortly after the break.
There's more stories of greatness to help you overcome adversity coming up on It's Your Life with James Cooley.
The James Cooley Show. It's your life. That's right.
Contribution.
Country Boy, City Boy, a journey that ain't over yet. The true life coming of age story by James J.C. Cooley. Using humor, wit, and engaging storytelling, James paints a picture about his arrival in a rural deep south town and realization that life would never be the same. Cooley lays out his struggle to adjust from city life to country life and back again, sharing his hard-earned lessons to educate, encourage, and enlighten our next generation of leaders and heroes. Get your copy of Country Boy, City Boy, a journey that ain't over yet by James J.C. Cooley, available on Amazon and everywhere books are sold.
It's the James Cooley Show. It's your life.
Hello, welcome back to the James Cooley Show. It's your life, and I'm just thrilled to have my little brother, Dr. Terry Spain, on the show again. And every time that this young man come on the show, he inspire, enhance, and enlightens others. Because that's just how it should be, and that's the type of person he is. And today what we're talking about is celebrating others. And as we mentioned earlier, it's so important to not just celebrate yourself and you jump up and down when everything is, but you have to recognize other colors. It cannot be about the I, the me, and the my. Hey, Terry, I'm about to say that again. That's it's not about the I, the me, and the my. It's all about the we, the us, and all of us. Yeah. So, Terry, why is it so important when we're recognizing others to encourage them to move forward and just don't stick around because you accomplish a small thing? And that's why our organization called Dream Big, Think Big, and Be Big at everything. Yeah. And how does that make you feel when you recognize someone, you see them, and a couple weeks later, whenever they moving forward, they rising up to whatever they was doing when they were down? Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, man. Actually, that first, when we talk about celebrating others, I definitely want to celebrate you and Michelle, because you all are doing something that a lot of folks would love to do, but you have a great following. So I want to celebrate and give you all your flowers while we're on the phone, and while we're on live and on the air. But that's one of the biggest things that I love to do. I love to see when I can impact somebody's life and stand in the background and watch them grow. You know what I mean? And watch them shine. That, to me, I'm like their biggest cheerleader for a lot of folks. I think it's healthier when you do that, because you don't want to have the competition, you know, unless it's like friendly competition. Sometimes that happen. You have that amongst friends and stuff, which is cool. But when you have those competitive competitions and you're always trying to one up someone, that's when it gets unhealthy, and that's when it gets toxic. And that's when you lose friendships. That's when you lose relationships. That's when you lose employees. And so for me, man, just having these young men and women and people in general that I'm able to impact, if I'm able to show you something, give you the tools to do it, and you do it and you excel at it, the only thing that I ask people to do when they ask me, hey, how can I ever repay you? Because I get that all the time. You've helped me with this. You've changed my life with that. And they say, well, how can I repay you? And I said, one of the things I want you to do is the same thing that I've done for you. I want you to do the exact same thing to others so that it can reciprocate, and it can be a trickle down effect. And I think that's how we become better as a society. Instead of trying to one up someone or shoot somebody down because you see them excelling, you help them out for a reason. You didn't help somebody out for them to fail. You would hope so. You would hope not. You know what I mean? But anytime I help someone out and I bend over backwards and I try to help them out, I'm helping them because I want them to succeed.
Wow. You know, well put, my friend. Well put. And just want to let our viewers know that when I first met you, I mean, you was at your graduation for your PhD. I was there. And for some reason, I just came up and I did not know the Navy thing or any of that stuff at that time. But I think I met a few of your friends that was in the service that came to support you.
Yeah. And
I just came up and gave you my card and said, hey, man, if you get an opportunity, give me a holler, give me a call.
Yeah.
And
I remember that.
and that's a form of recognizing, you know, because, I mean, to me, you walked around with confidence in everything that you are doing, and that just resonated. And I don't think I told you that before, but that's what that is.
I appreciate that, man. Yeah, I remember that like it was yesterday. And you know, I was definitely all smiles because of, you know, getting the honorary doctorate and things of that nature. And when I met you, we like instantly connect. And then when we found out we both were in the Navy together, and you know, everything, it was just the icing on the cake from there.
Icing on the cake. So Terry, for people out there trying to figure out what's formal or informal recognition, can you explain that?
Yeah. So we talked a little bit about an informal recognition, and one of the things, I'm notorious for doing this. I would literally send friends a text message, or I'll call them, or I'll send them a card or something and say, hey, I see you. I just want to let you know that I recognize that. Or sometimes I used to do this. I haven't done this in a while. If I knew one of my friends loved Starbucks, right, or loved a restaurant, I would send them a card with a gift card in there and say, hey, you know, enjoy it, man. I see all the stuff that you're doing. Just go ahead and enjoy this. And then they'll hit me back like, wow, man, I didn't see that coming. But those are some of the informal things that I would do. And then with formal, you know, that's pretty much when you get, you know, recognized for something, whether it's in the public or, you know, whether you're getting a big time award or, you know, presidential lifetime achievement medal, or, you know, or some of these big, huge awards that a lot of people get. That's the more formal way of, you know, showing people or giving people their, you know, their appreciation. But for me, I personally like the informal because folks are not expecting it. Like I'll do stuff out of the ordinary, and I mean not out of the ordinary, and I'll just say, hey, boom, I'll send you a card. I never forget one day, one of my friends, he was feeling a little down, but I said, hey man, I'm getting my security clearance upgraded, but I need your address so that I could put your put your address on the security clearance, because I need to put some of my friends' address on there. So he was like, sure, man, I'll give it to you. So he gave it to me. And I sent him, he's a Tar Heel fan. And I sent him a nice Tar Heel outfit and said, hey, man, I didn't really need the security clearance, but I wanted to send you this. And he was like, man, come on. He was just in tears. You know what I mean? And those are some of the little things that I like to do, man. But those are the informal things that really, really make make friendships and make relationships, make anything just go a long way.
Well, I mean, you just that type of guy. I remember 5 months ago when my daughter passed.
Yeah.
And that was horrible.
Yeah.
But you and Robin sent a little token to lift us up. Man, I tell you, I hadn't talked to nobody and at that point at all on the phones. I wouldn't talk to anybody. You and I text back and forth, but
yeah,
by you doing that, man, that just gave me a push that JC, you're gonna get over this. It's gonna take some time. You don't get over it, but it's you're gonna get back to yourself. And I believe that Michelle and I are almost back to ourselves, especially having great friends like you, my friend.
I appreciate that.
So all of that is so important. And so we talked about formal and informal, but you also mentioned recognition. I'm talking about awards and this and that. I know you the type that you would attend these little camps, these youth camps and stuff like that. And
yeah,
and just a lot of kids or whatever don't know that we've been watching them, and I know that's how I am with my scholarship, the J.C. Cooley Foundation. We give scholarships, and none of the kids know that it's coming from me until they get up and walk across the stage in front of 3,000-4,000 people. And then they're in shock. But that's kind of like a formal, I guess, recognition. And informal, we always do that, but sometimes formal recognition is required to really lift a lot of students and young adults up that might not think anybody cares about them, like we mentioned. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. So you talk about just a formal recognition. It's like how we do in the workplace. We got, employee of the month, employee of the year. Those things mean a lot because oftentimes it comes with a monetary donation, sometimes with those awards. And that's another way it's a retention tool, right? That's how you keep people.
That's a retention tool. But when you don't tell a person that they are put in for it, or whatever, and they at the meeting, and all of a sudden they called up toward the front.
Yeah. Yeah. I have a perfect example with that. So when I was in the Navy, James, I got meritoriously promoted to E3. We called it CAP back then. But I was meritoriously promoted to E4, I should say. We were doing our Christmas party, and we're doing the Christmas holiday party. Everyone was there. Everybody was dressed up. Everybody was looking real nice. And I'm a young E3 at the time. I think I was like 21, 22, however. And so they called my name up. And here I am, nervous. My captain called my name up, and he was like, "We want to recognize Petty Officer 3rd Class Terry Spain for being meritoriously promoted." Man, I froze in that moment, man. I never forget it. But that was an exciting time because that was a big deal. Being meritoriously promoted, that means that you was the top person on your ship, and for that rank. And so for me, that meant a lot. But that was one of those formal things that caught me completely off guard.
Wow. You know what, T? We don't have time right now, but in the next segment, I'm gonna tell you something that was shocking that you don't know about me. But then when you look it up, you're gonna know. I tell you what, we're gonna take a station break right now, and I want to hear what my main man Toddy back in our KCB crew studios. FM 96.1, AM 1170 is thinking and what he think about the show. So I want to hear what you are thinking and what you think about the show. So if you want to be part of this conversation, all you have to do is I'll make it easy for you. Just pick up the phone.
Yeah, ask some questions.
Just pick up the phone. Yeah, call in. Devin, call in. Pick up the phone. Ask a question. At 1-888-344-1170. Again, that's 1-888-344-1170. 888-344-1170. It's your life, and we'll see you shortly after the break.
There's more stories of greatness to help you overcome adversity coming up on It's Your Life with James Cooley.
Craving a slice of Chicago right here in Temecula wine country? Then dive into legendary Chicago deep dish style pizza at Rosati's Pizza Pub. Piled high with gooey cheese, rich tomato sauce, and your favorite toppings, Rosati's delivers the taste of the Windy City right to your table or front door. Enjoy the cozy pub atmosphere and an impressive selection of Temecula wines. Come on down to Rosati's Pizza Pub for your slice of Chicago right here on Rancho California Road, or order online at myrosatis.com. Rosati's, where Chicago deep dish pizza meets Temecula charm.
Country boy, city boy, a journey that ain't
The
over yet.
Cooley Show. It's your life. That's right. It's the James Cooley Show. It's your life. Dr. James JC Cooley. All right.
By Dr. James Cooley on Amazon or wherever books are sold.
Let's go. It's the James Cooley Show.
Hello, welcome back to the James Cooley Show. It's your life. I see I got a couple of texts from folks that want me to repeat the phone number again because they're going to call in. That's 1-888-344-1170. Again, that's 1-888-344-1170. My producer and KCB crew. Todd, what's that phone number, man?
It's 1-888-344-1170. 1-888-344-1170.
Hey, Todd, man, I bet you didn't expect this conversation that we having with Dr. Terry Spain. So,
well, every time he's on, it's always a great show. I learn a lot and I get very motivated. And so it's a great show. Let's get right back to it.
Let's get right back to it. And I tell you, Devin, 1-888-344-1170. I hope you call in. But Terry, man, how do you stay motivated? I mean, you doing not motivated, but man, I probably would pass out. I mean, if I were doing all the things that you're doing, you're announcing NBA games, college games, football games, you mentoring camps, you're doing all this, you're supporting. So I think you supported an event today with one of your boys.
Cam Newton, yeah.
Cam Newton, yeah. So how do you have the time? I'm talking about crunch time, because I believe we make time for what we think is important.
Right.
How do you go about with your schedule doing this? Because you're traveling all over the place as well.
Yeah. I mean, I have to be honest with you. So I work for myself, so it makes it a lot easier. But but to be honest with you, I live and die by my calendar. So I kind of try to space my time out where I'm not really kind of trying to overrun myself. So I do try to space some things out, but sometimes things are just run on top of each other. And I just say, I get in that mindset, I get in that mode and say, okay, I get in that go mode. And when I'm in that go mode, it's like, ain't it's no stopping then, you know? So one of the things that I do is I definitely take care of my body. I work out as much as I can. I try to work out 3 times a week. I do the steam room. I try to eat right sometimes, but when I'm on the road, it's real tough to eat healthy unless you find you a go-to spot. But quite honestly, man, I just do that. I pace myself, and I just get excited anytime I know I'm going to help out someone. But anytime I'm going to broadcast or whatever, you know, I know I'm going there to make an impact broadcasting, you know, because I mentor some athletes, and then I also just like to see people. I'm a sports guy. I love sports. I played basketball. And so I get my gratification by watching sports as well as announcing it and helping out others.
Wow. Yeah. I want to bring it back into what we was talking about, a formal recognition. And one of the things that you don't know about is I was on the Blue Ridge. I think, would you?
Hey, I was on the Blue Ridge.
You don't. But I was on Blue Ridge way before you was on Blue Ridge. And what I had done, I mean, prior to getting to the Blue Ridge, I was doing fitness classes. I'm talking about nobody was going to be fitter than me. I don't care where I was at. So I took to the Blue Ridge and I created this fitness.
I remember that. I remember you telling me that. Oh yeah, I remember that.
I created this. I got and what I did was I was doing fitness and everybody had to attend. They didn't have to 3 days a week, even on the way. It hadn't even been put in yet. And so my captain, his name is Captain Joe. I got to find out where he's at right now. But he's like, wow, we got to let the Secretary of the Navy and CNO know about this. And so I'm leading, doing all this. All of a sudden, the CNO, his name was Admiral Border Gerald. He came on the ship, and you know we was flagship, only 2 flagships.
Yeah.
Us and the Mountain Witness. I'm talking about in the world.
Yeah.
Came on board. I'm in the Radio Shack. I think I'm a chief petty officer, senior chief petty officer, whatever that is at that time. And we have communication, so we only have a certain amount of lines that we can push out. So I'm there making sure that we got the CNO on board and the CNO bringing all his people.
Yeah.
That nothing's going to go wrong. All of a sudden, the chief of staff and the captain busted in my Radio Shack. What's he cooling? What's he cooling? I come out there, I see them, and first of all, everybody frozen in attention. I come out there, I see them like, at ease, chief. You are requested to be on the flight deck immediately. I'm like, okay. They get ready to hold my ass on me. I ain't did that. I mean, you know, where I'm going with this is like, okay, I'm literally, I swear, start sweating. Like, what did I do? We get up there, everybody's up there in their whites and all this other type of stuff. And I get up there, and Chief of Naval Operations, Chief of Staff, which was a 1-star.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, where is Chief Petty Officer Cooley? I get up there. He said, the CNO want to see you. I walked up there. And I'm talking about surprise. I swear. He said, the CNO said, hey, you were submitted by Captain Joy for creating a physical fitness program, which is they are doing in 7th Fleet.
Mm-hmm.
And they're doing all around. He said, I want to give you a Navy commendation letter right now. And this program will be implemented in the Navy. Everybody
Wow.
in the Navy. Everybody in the Navy would have to PT at least 3 days a week.
Wow.
And man, I froze. I had no idea. I'm telling you. And next thing you know, they send a film crew on. They send everything on, and I lead the whole fleet, including the admirals on the ships and
Wow.
the
Wow.
generals. Right? That's what I mean, formal recognition. But
Yeah.
a lot of times it's a person don't know, and when we do that, give them an opportunity when they don't know, it just lifts up everything. And not only that, I was marked in the Navy for a long time. Everywhere I went, they recognized my face. It didn't matter where I went in. They recognized me like, you are the guy that started this PT program, and you making us go. You know. So I think we got a call on line one. Let's hear him. Hey Todd, I think we got a call on line one. Todd? Devin, are you on line one?
Yeah, this is Devin. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. How you doing, Devin?
Great. Thrilled to connect. Thank you so much for hearing my question. But, you know, as you talk about doing recognition, I value that. I want to do that better. But I don't have a lot of time. I don't have a lot of money. How do I begin working this into my routine, into my business? How do I make this work? Where do I start?
We'll let Dr. Terry start, and then after he finishes, I'll follow up.
And Devin, thank you for calling in, because that's definitely a great question. And I believe it or not, I have gotten asked that question quite a few times, and you'll be surprised. Don't make it impromptu is probably one of the best ways you can recognize someone. You know, everyone knows during the holidays they may get like a bonus, or they may get this and that, but do it on the off-peak time. Whether it's you know, you bring someone lunch at your if you, I don't know how many employees you may have work for you, what have you, but if you treat them out to lunch, or you bring lunch to them, or you know, that's more of recognition, but that's also retention as well. And then you actually get to know the person, so that if you see someone really like Starbucks, and you say, okay, I'm going to give you a Starbucks call, and they be like, oh wow, this person, my boss gave me a $50 Starbucks card. You know, I know there's limitations that you can give the employee, the boss, or what have you, but small things like that go a long way, because a lot of people want to feel welcome, and they want to feel wanted at work, friendships, relationships. And you say you don't have a lot of time. One of the other things that you could do that doesn't really cost you as much time is send a text to everybody in your organization and say, hey, I appreciate all the stuff that you're doing for this company. And don't do it on a holiday where, you know, people get all emotional for Christmas or what have you. Do it on an off-peak time and set that way and go that way. And those are good ways of doing recognitions. And those, believe it or not, they go a long way for a lot of people. I hope I answered your question.
Let me add a little bit to that, Devin. I believe that we have to always be the example of our folks, and if we tell them to do something, we have to be locked in on that. We're doing it as well, and just a little thing, the compliments. Say, you're doing a great job. You're doing this. You're doing that. I believe that all of those things are so important in creating that foundation where people trust and believe in you. I tell you what, we're going to take a station break. Hey, Devin, you can stick around if you got another question. We're going to take a station break. But when we come back, we're going to pick it up with this great doctor. I call him Dr. T. It's Dr. Terry Spain. But we're going to take a station break, and we're going to come back, and Dr. Cooley going to come on, and she's going to inspire you as well. So if you want to be part of the conversation, just pick up the phone. Dial 1-888-344-1170. Again, that's 1-888-344-1170. KCBQ AM 1170 Answer FM 96.1, iHeart, Spotify, and over 68 live platforms. We'll be back. It's your life.
There's more stories of greatness to help you overcome adversity coming up on It's Your Life with James Cooley.
A black man's point of view is the
Doctor James J.C. Cooley. The James Cooley Show. It's your life.
worth that many black men face today due to a 400-year.
Hello, I'm Dr. James J.C. Cooley from the United States of America, and I am here to just say, first of all, I'm so happy and honored to be honored to be in the Coffee Book 2023, Unified Brain Z and the other organizations. Thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to be a part of this collection.
The J.C. Cooley Foundation thanks you in advance for your contribution.
Country Boy, City Boy, a journey that ain't over yet. The true life coming of age story by James J.C. Cooley. Using humor, wit, and engaging storytelling, James paints a picture about his arrival in a rural deep south town and realization that life would never be the same. Cooley lays out his struggle to adjust from city life to country life and back again, sharing his hard-earned lessons to educate, encourage, and enlighten our next generation of leaders and heroes. Get your copy of Country Boy, City Boy, a journey that ain't over yet by James J.C. Cooley, available on Amazon and everywhere books are sold.
Craving a slice of Chicago right here in Temecula wine country? Then dive into legendary Chicago deep dish style pizza at Rosati's Pizza Pub. Piled high with gooey cheese, rich tomato sauce, and your favorite toppings, Rosati's delivers the taste of the Windy City right to your table or front door. Enjoy the cozy pub atmosphere and an impressive selection of Temecula wines. Come on down to Rosati's Pizza Pub for your slice of Chicago right here on Rancho California Road, or order online at myrosatis.com. Rosati's, where Chicago deep dish pizza meets Temecula charm.
Dr. James.
Hello, welcome back to the James Cooley Show. It's Your Life, and my absolutely fantastic, yes, my little brother from another mother. But I tell you, this guy's so special to us, and what he's sharing is celebrating others. And one of the things that we talk about when it comes to celebrating others is we have to put self to the side. Mm-hmm. Because if it's all about you, you the only one. I mean, I'm feeling like, oh, I'm the greatest. What me and Michelle it's all about, and Terry as well. It's all about recognizing others.
Yeah.
And before we go into this, hey Todd, did we still have that guest on? Todd.
Yes.
Okay.
Go ahead and talk to him.
Hey, Devin, I would love to hear your response of what me and Terry had said. So if you got a response, let's hear it.
Yeah, I think you guys are, of course, right on. That's why I called. I appreciate your insights. I think one of the challenges that folks like me, folks frankly who look like me, middle-aged white dudes, we often stumble when we're trying to recognize and appreciate people, especially from your community. And I wonder if you could offer some tips, for being a little bit more genuinely inclusive, more welcoming, creating communities of belonging that work for you, that, we don't want to have anyone feeling condescended to. We don't want to make people feel bad in our efforts to make them feel good. How would you guide us to make recognition meaningful in that context? It's a little challenging.
Hey Terry, you want me to take that?
Yeah, you can. You can take that one.
Okay. First of all, I understand what you're saying. That's right. I believe that when you see somebody or somebody is different from you, we automatically assume that it's, oh, this person is out to get something from me, or they're going to hurt me, or this or that, or whatever the situation you might be in. When we assume and then we make judgments immediately, the person that being judged automatically feel that way. They feel that, okay, this person they don't know nothing about me. It done happened to me a couple of times, so I say they did not know anything about me, but I was judged immediately. So first thing I would say is have an open mind before you make judgments, and also be welcoming on to hear what a person or whoever might have to say. You might not agree with it, but just being available to hear what they have to say is so important. What are your thoughts, Terry?
Yeah, I think that's you were spot on with that. But one of the other things that I tell people is wording. When you want to collaborate with people that don't look like you, and you don't want to make it seem like you're just giving someone a handout, use the different words. Like, instead of saying I gave them this, say we've done this together, or we made this happen together. We are a partner, so that you can look like you're on one accord and you have everything together. Instead of saying, yeah, we gave them this, or they gave us that. We gave each other this. We came together. You see how you use the inclusive language? I think that's one of the biggest things, because a lot of people like to play on words, and a lot of people listen to how you talk. And so if you start using more inclusive language as the we and those different natures, then folks will be
the we, the us, and the ours.
Yes.
Hey, Michelle, what are your thoughts?
Yeah.
We're down on time. Michelle, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I want to chime in on a couple of things. I know we have 5 minutes left, but there's another important category to this regarding recognition, is also about jealousy and comparing yourself. When someone does get the recognition that they deserve. Now, sometimes, and this is a question for Terry, there are people out there, workers, it could be corporate, it could be private sector. They may not get the recognition that they deserve. And when others get that, they don't know how to deal with the jealousy or the comparisons, like, what's wrong with me? I believe there are times where maybe everyone may not get the recognition that they deserve, but you do what you do not to get recognition, but to always give your best. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's funny you should say that, because one of my quotes says, "Don't work for recognition, do work worthy of recognition." And so for that, you're going to have people, no matter who you are or what you achieve, there are going to be always people that say, why didn't I get this? Well, I should have been the one that got that. And when you realize and you see stuff like that, and you notice that someone is not getting this just due, and you're in the forefront, it's always good to bring those people up to the front too and say, hey, I would like to recognize this person as well. And even if they don't get any type of reward or anything, by you coming up and saying that and making them, visible to the team or to the organization, that does wonders for a lot of people. And sometimes that stops the jealousy, because that person is thinking, okay, they have my best interest at heart.
Wow.
Like if you have a department and you're a department head, I know we press for time, and they award you something, they recognize you, you always include your team.
Yes.
Well, Joe and John and Sarah, I could not have done this without them. So I'm sharing this award and this recognition with them.
Include the team. Hey, Dr. Spain, you are incredible, like you always. Thank you so much, little brother.
Appreciate that.
Dr. Cooley, thank you for putting together another absolutely fantastic show. I'd like to thank our studios and KCBQ AM 1170 Answer. Thank you so much. I couldn't do it without you, Toddy, and our folks back there. I'll be back there next week. Most importantly, I'd like to thank our viewers and our listeners for tuning into the James Cooley Show. It's like Monday through Friday at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on 6 to 8 live platform, where we teach you how to dream big, think big, and be big at everything you do. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place. It's your life. I'm going to say it one more time. It's your life. We'll see you then.
JC, Cooley.